With version 1.2 coming very soon, we finally get to see the light cone of what signature is going to be for Blade, and also the 4 stars that are going to be accompanying that light cone. Now this is very exciting, especially because I got to look a little bit about these light cones, and man, this is going to be a very high value banner for sure, because all these light cones are going to be very useful, especially if you are going to be summoning for Blade and also building out your light cones for your account as a whole. So let's go ahead and talk about Blade's signature, and then we'll get into the 4 stars, because I do think this is going to be a high value banner. Now, talking about the signature for Blade, it is going to be the unreachable side, and of course you're going to get a lot of HP from this than anything else, which is really good, especially for Blade since he does scale off of HP. And the signature passive is going to be increase the wearer's crit rate and max HP by 18%, and that is a whole lot. Holy. After the wearer is attacked or consumes their own HP, increase the wearer's damage by 24%. This effect is dispelled after the user uses an attack. So basically saying the last part of the passive, you're going to get that wearer damage increased by 24% whenever you get attacked or whenever you consume your own HP. But whenever you do attack, you're going to lose it, so you have to re-earn it. Now, that's not a really hard passive to proc again. Getting hit and consuming your own HP, a lot of the destruction characters are going to be doing this by themselves anyway. Arlen hurts his own HP, Blade hurts his own HP, Clara wants to get hit with her taunt through her ult. A lot of the destruction characters are easily going to be able to use this light cone, and especially since you are going to be getting 18% crit rate, which is a whole lot to be putting on a light cone, making it almost no reason for you to ever run crit rate body if you have this light cone on somebody. This is a very strong light cone, and also getting that max HP by 18%. That's going to be good on all of these characters as well. Having Clara get more HP, there's nothing wrong with that, since she is going to be tanking a lot of the hits for your team. Same with Arlen, same with Blade. Now, Arlen doesn't necessarily scale off of HP. He can benefit from having the added HP onto his percentage, so that he's able to withstand a lot more when he's in the lower percent of his HP. Blade, on the other hand, he's going to end up getting more damage from this through the crit rate and the max HP scaling, and also consuming his own HP, giving him the 24%. This is by far going to be one of the stronger light cones in the game for sure, and especially a really universal one when it comes to the destruction path, just because it gives you so much HP, crit rate, and also total damage by 24%. That's just wow, that's a lot to be putting on a light cone. This is going to be a very good one for sure. Now, the next light cones are going to be the 4-star light cones that we're going to be looking at. Now, most of these light cones are going to be very good in value. I think every multi you do on this banner is somehow or some way going to be very good for your account, just because there's going to be a lot of really good 4 stars, and of course the signature is amazing as well. Now, looking at the first light cone that we're going to have on the 4-star list is going to be Swordplay, which is going to be an amazing the hunt light cone, which is going to be for each time the wearer hits the same target, damage dealt increases by 8%, stacking up to 5 times, so that goes all the way up to 40%. Holy. This effect will be dispelled when the wearer changes targets. Now, you do end up getting these stacks fairly quick, because when you do use hits, they're not talking about how many times you're attacking, they're talking about how many times you've hit the enemy with your attack. So Sela, I think she does like 3 or 4 through her skill. Dan Hong does like 3 or 4 through his skill. There's just a lot of ways you can ramp this up very quickly. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a problem when you are facing AoE targets, but when you are trying to melt down bosses, when you're trying to do very big hit on bosses, this is going to help really much, because you're just going to be fighting that target and that's it, and you are going to be able to stack it all the way up to the max that you can possibly get it to and do a lot of damage. So yes, Swordplay is going to be a very good one when it comes to having a light cone on the hunt character. This is probably one of the better 4-star light cones for the hunt, so this is a very good one to have on the banner. The next one is going to be a Secret Vow, and now if you've been in my streams, I've already been talking about this light cone quite a bit. This is by far probably going to be one of Blade's best 4-star light cones, just because it has a lot to do with its kit and is going to give him a lot of extra damage. Now, the passive for this light cone is going to be increased damage dealt by the wearer by 20%. The wearer also deals an extra 20% damage to enemies with HP equal to or higher than the wearer. Now, this is going to be very easy, and I mean super easy, for characters like Blade and even Arlen too. But Blade is going to always reset himself back to 50%, and whenever he uses skill, he's going to end up hurting himself. He does have very high taunt value because he is destruction, so enemies are going to want to hit them. It's just going to be overall very easy to keep this HP under than what your enemies are, and having this 40% at R1 or having this 40% at 1 superimpose is going to be absolutely insane, because you can get this really high up there. You can do some really nasty damage, because this passive isn't going to be hard at all in order to get it to work on a lot of different enemies. So this is going to be a really nice Lightcone. If you don't get the signature, this is going to be a really good one to have as well. And with super imposition, this is going to be absolutely nasty. You can definitely put this on a lot of the other destruction characters, with the way most of them either sacrifice their own HP or they want to get hit a lot. This is going to be good on a lot of them. There is no restrictions on a lot of these Lightcones that are in this banner, which is something I love a lot. Now, next Lightcone that we're going to be talking about is Shared Feeling. Now, we have talked about Shared Feeling very recently, but this is going to be a very good Lightcone as well. It is going to be increase the wearer's outgoing healing by 10%. When the wearer uses their skill, restore 2 energy for all allies. Now, in all honesty, again, a non-conditional Lightcone, which is something I really like in them. And you're going to be getting a base outgoing healing by 10%, which is going to help all the healers. It can help Natasha, it can help Bailu, it can also help Luocha. This can be really good on a lot of the different abundance characters. And then you're also given a free restore 2 energy to all allies. Now, this is going to help a lot of the allies, although it's not a lot, get their ult a little bit more quicker, just because you are giving them that 2 every time you skill. Now, you're not going to be skilling all the time, especially with Bailu and especially with Luocha, but you're going to end up using this regardless, and having the extra energy on top of the outgoing healing is just a really good way to stack on your healing. So talking about this Lightcone banner as a whole, I do think that this is a very high value Lightcone banner, just because it does play into a lot of the different roles and has non-conditional cards for the most point. A lot of them are really easy to stack up, a lot of them are really easy to get their passes up. Su Shang's Lightcone, you're basically going to end up getting the full stacks regardless in less than 2 attacks, and whenever you're fighting bosses, you're going to melt them down. The only con is, yes, whenever you do fight AoE situations, you might end up losing your stacks. But in all honesty, you're going to still end up getting the stacks very fast, even if you do switch from character to character, just because it is based on hits and not really your full-on attack. So this is a very good Lightcone for the hunt as well. This is just going to be overall a crazy Lightcone for any destruction character, just because all you have to do is be under the amount of the enemy's HP, and that's not going to be too hard, especially like I said with Arlen, with Blade, how they're able to lower their own HP, so this is going to be no problem for them. And Clara, all she has to do is pop her ult, and she'll end up losing a bunch of health just because all the enemies will be hitting her. This is going to be an absolutely insane Lightcone. And like I said with this one, really overall really good healer Lightcone for the abundance path. You're going to be getting that outgoing healing, which is going to help everyone out, and also help out the energy for all your allies, getting them their ultimates way quicker. So yes, I do think this banner is very, and I mean very good. I am almost inclined to thinking it might be worth it for free-to-play players to summon on this Lightcone if you're going for Blade, because you almost have no way of losing. Just because unless you have a super imposition 5 version of any of these Lightcones, then that's when you might get a loss. But other than that, all of these Lightcones actually do very good, especially with them being super imposition 5. If you do try to summon for Blade's Lightcone, which has a lot to it, yeah, you're going to end up getting some nasty passes from this and being able to build a lot more characters, making them hit a lot more harder. It's just overall very great to look at. So if you are summoning for Blade, I do recommend that you probably should be going for this weapon banner, just because it has a lot of value in it. All of the Lightcones that are in this banner are very good. And other than that, if you're saving for Kafka, if you're waiting for other characters, then of course you should probably just wait for their signature weapon banner, because they might have Lightcones that actually synergize with them and have other things that you might need rather than this. Now, if you do have all the Lightcones from this banner, like all the 4-star ones, then maybe yes as well, you should probably skip it. But for right now, for people that don't have any of these, for people that have some, or for people that want the signature Lightcone, which is Blades, this is an amazing Lightcone banner for sure. This can work on so many different characters just because of all of the different Lightcones that you have in here, all of the different passes that they give. It just overall works on everyone, no conditions, nothing that you have to worry about. It's all really easy, super simple passives that everyone can benefit from. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am super excited for version 1.2, so make sure to leave a like, leave a sub, all that type of stuff, and make sure to come by the stream when 1.2 happens, because we are going to do a lot. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.